Good morning and welcome to the August 11th County Commission meeting. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just a quick reminder to silence your cell phones, and meeting documents are next to Commissioner Bender, and Robert will help you with any listening devices if he can hear me. Where did he go? Ran out to go here. With that, we'll start with routine business. Do you want to read, or you want me to do it? Oh, well, that's a good idea. Then I'll do that. The first item is to consider the motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion unanimously passes. Item 2 is to approve the County Commission meetings of August 4th. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any corrections or changes? If not, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion unanimously passed. Item 3 is bills to be paid of $451,276.80.
Pay the bills.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments? With that, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion unanimously passes. There are no reports today. Item 5 is personnel actions. Carrie, do you have any comments? Is there a motion to approve the routine personnel actions?
I make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? With that, those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Any special commission action today? No. Item number 6, Mr. Helseth.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kyle Helseth, Director of Equalization. We bring forward this morning for your consideration a group of abatements. The first being for Cynthia Wahlberg, record ID 57942, 2014 property taxes in the amount of $917.86. This is for an owner-occupied status.
Any questions of Kyle? We need to take this particular item separately. The rest can be done in one large group.
I'll make a motion to approve. I do have a question.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Mr.
So, Kyle, on this, did they file the paperwork, but you guys missed it?
This is one of the strange ones, and we seem to run into them this time of the year, where a divorce took place. And someone claimed the owner-occupied status on the property when they couldn't. And that's about all I can say. It was
good enough.
Okay. Any other questions? We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion unanimously passes. Item B through H.
B through H are H lots. The city has purchased to clean up streets, intersections, a little bit of everything. They tend to lump these together, so I'll go through them in a lump. City of Sioux Falls record ID 14628. Property taxes in the amount of $64.65. Sioux Falls City record ID 14629. 2014 property taxes in the amount of $62.10. Sioux Falls City 61428. 2014 property taxes in the amount of $253.86. City of Sioux Falls record ID 75429. 2014 property taxes in the amount of $75.05. City of Sioux Falls record ID 79955. 2014 property taxes in the amount of $747.76. City of Sioux Falls record ID 81366 for 2014 property taxes in the amount of $72.52. Last but not least, City of Sioux Falls record ID 82734 for 2014 property taxes in the amount of $1,019.78.
Thank you, Kyle. Do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any questions on any of these? We have a motion to approve items B through H. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion unanimously passes. There's no notices and requests, no planning and zoning notices. Commissioner Barth, petition for compromise.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is for DPNO 23967 in the amount of $731.40. The applicant has come forward requesting a compromise and release in full of the lien. She's in the process of applying for a community development loan through the Sioux Falls Community Development Office. The loan is to replace the home's furnace, air conditioner, some siding, and address some electrical issues. The loan cannot be finalized until all outstanding liens are resolved. The Commission Office confirmed that that is the case, and she would qualify for this if the lien is resolved. So the applicants had business with us back as far as 1989, but had a zero balance as recently as 2008. The current lien charges were incurred in 2008 for public defender provided to her juvenile grandson, whom she had legal guardianship of at that time. She knows she owes that money, but has no ability to make a payment based on her income. The applicant is on a fixed income of about $29,500 a year. She has a Social Security and some other income. Her main asset is the home at $123,000 and her car. Liabilities include outstanding mortgage on the home of $80,000, a debt to AAA Collections of $400 and $900, and credit card debt to Capital One. So basically, I think we've heard it. The applicant is present. At this point, she's living without air conditioning, living without heat. These are very difficult situations, and obviously taking responsibility for your grandson's issues is of some significance as well. And I guess, Mr. Chairman, the applicant who is present can speak if she wishes. She doesn't need to come to the podium. She can just stand or sit where she is, but needs to speak loud enough so we can all hear her. And if she has a comment to make, I guess I would invite you to speak.
Oh, okay. Thank you. The deal with AAA Collections was a shock and a surprise. And I'm working out with them already. $500 has been paid, and they take $100 each month out of my checking account. And I had to approve that because I have to get Social Security / disability. I didn't realize my furnace was out until I came home from a major surgery last fall. I had a colon resection. And anyway, on September 19th, I have a hip replacement. You know, I sure would appreciate it if you could help me somehow. We could work something out. You know, my grandson knew that he was responsible for any action, you know, if he got arrested or anything else. That was his doing, and he had to take care of that. And I'm not saying that I didn't, you know, a couple times, but after a couple times it was enough. In fact, I didn't even know that lien was there. And the address was not mine. It was my deceased ex-husband's address. I don't know what else to say. I sure would appreciate it so I could at least try for a loan, you know, at least for basic furnace and air conditioner. I had Mid-American Energy at my home a lot last winter because I wasn't sure if my things turned off right, and you know, they wanted to make sure I did, so I wouldn't blow up the neighborhood, let alone my home. But I appreciate you all considering. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Is there any other questions?
Ma'am,
comments?
if I may, your grandson, is he unable or unwilling to help you with this?
I don't even know where he lives. He's 24 years old. He dropped off his phone number about a month ago, stuck it in the door. I mean, I saw him coming, but I did not want anything to do with him at this time. And it was stating he had started a garbage or a landscaping business. But I have no association with him or his mother. I do know that he uses her address, his mother's address.
Just a quick question. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dick.
Well, and this might be for, I don't know who can answer this. You have $19,000 a year that comes in on a trust income, but you don't show that as an asset as far as the value of the trust. To me, I mean, if it's putting out $20,000 a year income, it has a value of $200,000 or $300,000 at least. I would think. Shouldn't that show up in the?
I mean, I can't speak to whether the trust ultimately is her asset. She might only be a beneficiary without knowing the particulars of that particular trust. It might only be income producing for her. I guess that's something you could ask the applicant if you're interested.
And the other question I have is, why was the was he a minor when those liens were attached? They were, you said he was 24 years old? Yeah.
No.
And those liens were put on in
2008.
2008.
Yeah, see, and I think my guardianship might have been terminated legally by then. I'm not sure, but it was unpleasant towards the end there.
Robert, do you have any comments?
I would just say that the commission office confirmed with the auditor's office that the lien amounts reflect charges for a juvenile case.
Okay. Ma'am, if I can ask, do you get any heat assistance or any electrical assistance from one of the other associations?
Yes, I do get the heat every year, which is wonderful. And as far as, electricity, Excel Energy, I just go budget with them because, I mean, like right now I've got about 4 fans running consistently. And so electric bill's going to be up a little high. And
do you know if your air conditioning and furnace are replaced, if you will continue to get that assistance or not?
oh yeah, I will.
Okay. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, going into this, I wasn't sure, and certainly I had some concerns about the fact that the applicant is so dependent on help from taxpayers one way or the other, with whether it's Social Security or this furnace thing. But I think that, considering that it's for her grandson that this effort was made, and that living without heat and air conditioning in South Dakota is very difficult, I'm going to make a motion to forgive this lien and ask for a second.
Is there a second to Commissioner Barr's motion?
I'll second it.
We have a second. Are there any other questions or comments?
Well, just a comment. She does have an income of $30,000 a year. That's gross. So, but and she's got about $40,000 equity in the house. I guess there's a whole lot of folks in this town that have got a lot less income and a lot more mouths to feed. I cannot support this.
Any other comments? think we'll need a roll call vote if we can, Cindy.
Okay, Commissioner Barr?
Aye.
Bender?
Aye.
Kelly?
No.
Hennigan?
Aye. Good luck with your application.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Now's the time for opportunity for public comment. If anyone has any comments they'd like to make about anything that's not on the agenda, we'd like to hear from you now. No one's moving forward, so we'll go to item number 10, which is a public hearing and a second reading of an ordinance amending the 2010 revised drainage ordinance of Minnehaha County by revising the general regulations. Scott Anderson.
Yes, Scott Anderson, County Planning Department. You may recall I've provided a briefing memo on the need to amend our drainage ordinance, and I'll go over a couple of the changes, or I'll go over all the changes with you today. And this is a public hearing, so if there is any public testimony, we can take that too. But primarily, I have been working with the state's attorney, and there was a couple of changes that they would also like to see, and those have been incorporated. But primarily, this ordinance amendment came about as a new creek was named by the USGS, and I'll show you the new creek here. Earlier this year, they named Annie Anderson Creek, which is just north of Valley Springs. It actually flows into Minnesota as well. And we are also adding the outflow of Buffalo Lake. There's a named creek which was not included in our drainage ordinance, but had already been a named creek. So we want to correct that in our drainage ordinance as well. So that's the first item that is being amended to our drainage ordinance. The next items really deal with notification of downstream property owners when work occurs. The existing ordinance has wording that in some work that's done, if it's in an established drainway, you can just send notice by first-class mail. If it's new tile work, that has to be done with certified mail. The state's attorney recommended that we make that all uniform, and so it makes sense to people that it's not one way or another way, it's always the same way, and they recommended that we change the drainage ordinance to require all property owners downstream be notified by certified mail. That way there's a record that had been sent out. There's not the possibility of someone saying, well, how do we really know that it was sent out by just first-class mail? So this is the wording. This is the current wording that is found in how we do drains, and we are changing this for work that's done in vested drainage ways and intermittent streams, that the permit applicant shall notify all landowners for 1/2 mile downstream from the end of the cleanout area. Notification shall be sent by certified return receipt mail a minimum of 10 days prior to the start of the project, and the receipt shall be submitted to the planning department prior to the issuance of the permit. So we will now have that uniform language in all aspects of drainage work that will be done. And then the last item, there was a misspelling of maintenance, and we are taking care of that in section 107, and we are identifying on number 4 really was work in intermittent streams. There was no title for that, so we're titling it or labeling it intermittent streams, which is what it is. So I'd be glad to answer any questions.
Anyone have any questions for Mr. Anderson?
Is there any downside on this notification, or
the only
strictly pertains to notification? That's nothing to do with approvals, right?
No, just notification. It's a I won't say a courtesy, but you will be notifying all downstream property owners of work that is going to occur. That triggers in our ordinance, in the drainage ordinance, a right for them to protest. That was one of the concerns I think the state's attorney had was there's no documentation of when someone receives something, so you could have problems with protesting. This just cleans up the mechanism of how we are issuing drainage permits.
Any other questions for Scott?
Mr. Chairman, I'd just comment that back when we put in this ordinance that if you are draining directly into a named creek, then the notification is much reduced, and it was suggested at that time that there are other persistent creeks within the county that should be named that haven't been named, and the one just had not been labeled on our map, and the other one was just really recently codified. But there are probably others, especially in the western part of the county, that flow year-round that have never been named. But anyway, that's part of the process, I guess.
Any other questions? Since this is a public hearing, is there anyone that would like to make comments from the audience? Al, if you'd give us your name and address.
Al Miron, 25935 469th Avenue, Sioux Falls. And I was a member of the Drainage Task Force when this was established. And at that time, we discussed what Mr. Barth is alluding to, the naming of additional creeks, that sort of thing. And I want to commend Scott and his staff for proceeding with that and at least getting that done in a couple of cases. And I would hope that that work might continue to add additional name streams to the map. So that's my comment for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Al. Any other individuals, pro or con, that would like to speak in reference to this ordinance? We have a motion to approve, correct?
Nope.
No, we don't.
I'll make one.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion to approve the second reading of the ordinance. Any other comments? If not, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion unanimously passes. Item 11 is a request for approval for professional services agreements for design services with Short Elliott Hendrickson for Minnehaha County Structural Replacement 50-284-170. DJ Buthy.
Good morning, Commissioners. DJ Buthy, Highway Superintendent. This item on the agenda today is for beginning the preliminary engineering, or the TSNL, the type, size, and location for a bridge replacement project on the northeast corner of Brandon, Redwood Boulevard. This project is one that we've had on our radar for a couple years now. We actually started a design for large maintenance project a couple years ago, and then during a bridge inspection, our consultant pointed out some things and recommended that the bridge be replaced. And so then we changed gears and programmed it for replacement and began working with the state to try to get this to be one of the first projects completed through the state bridge grant program, the big grants. And we would like to begin design on this to have a shelved set of plans ready for applying for the first big grant this October. So if you have any questions, I can answer them. Otherwise, we've worked with SEH on several bridge projects prior to this. We did an informal RFP process to come to the conclusion that we want to hire them for this project, and we're confident that they will do a wonderful job for us with the project.
Thank you, DJ. Any questions?
I have one.
Commissioner Bender?
DJ, can you just remind us about this state program for bridges that you're talking about applying for, what the criteria is and what the likelihood is that we meet that criteria?
They've given us draft administrative rules. They have not adopted those formally, but there is a rating sheet that takes into account several different things: condition of the structure, cost of the structure to replace, the amount of driving distance for people to detour around the structure, the amount of effort both by workforce and monetarily that the local government will put towards the project. And I think that's all that comes to my mind off the top of my head here. That will be put into an objective rating sheet and then considered by the state's Transportation Commission. The state DOT local government office will be administering that, and once they have adopted final rules, then we'll know exactly what that rating sheet looks like. But we've seen the proposed rating sheet, the proposed big grant rules that they've come up with, and we're working with them on probably a weekly basis, I would say, and trying to get this project to move forward as one of those first projects. We've been told that local governments will be able to use a maximum of $4 million every 3 years as part of the program, and this, I think, is going to be about $2.5 million or so, and so we will fit well within those guidelines, and we're trying to push it as a project that's going to benefit the county, the city of Brandon, and the township of Split Rock Township. And so we feel like we have a little bit of a leg up because we're going to be project ready when that big grant is officially approved, and we're going to benefit 3 local governments. And so we're really confident that this project will move forward ahead of some others.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the professional services agreement for design services with Short Elliott Hendrickson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion unanimously passes. Item 12 is to authorize the chairperson to sign a change order with Sukup Construction for project MC 14-16 for a cost of $93,599.86, with 81.95% being reimbursed by the South Dakota Department of Transportation. DJ.
Commissioners, during the 2014 flood event, there was a lot of damage to several different sites, as you've been briefed on many times. And as part of that, we had this project that was put together as an ER project, an emergency response project. This particular site was evaluated from the ground, and when the contractor arrived at the location to begin work, the project was a lot worse than what we had estimated. The water levels had gone down, and the damage was a lot worse than we had anticipated. So we got an initial estimate for repairs, and it was like $150,000 or so. And we took a step back. We had our department staff do some evaluating of the site. We had our consultant, through an amendment of their contract, do some evaluating of the site. And we negotiated with the contractor to a contract change order amount of $93,599.86 to place riprap in a large hole, a scour hole, and to repair some pipe ends that are close to failure. And so this is a reimbursable expense. The county cost will be $16,895 or so at 18.05% of the total change order cost. So they are able to begin work here in the next month or so with a revised completion date of mid-October. So we hope to move forward with this upon your approval.
Any questions for DJ? Commissioner Barr?
Sure. DJ, so the scour hole was much deeper, 13 feet instead of 5 or whatever. Would we have found that out without low water, or did
when we did the initial evaluation, the water was high enough that we weren't able to enter into the channel, and so we were basically guessing.
Sure.
Using an educated
So we would
guess.
not have built it, though, without discovering this, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Other questions? Is there a motion to authorize a change order?
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to authorize the chair change order to Sukup Construction. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion unanimously passes. Thank you, DJ.
Thank you.
DJ, will you stick around, because I got something in the old
You bet.
business that you'll be...
Item 13 is to declare the following items surplus for salvage or scrap metal: broiler fryer, a Hobart dishwasher, an isomatic, a walk-in refrigerator freezer, a Vulcan oven, and that's it. 2 Vulcan ovens. Mark Crines.
Morning, Commission. Mark Crins, Facilities Department. Our department removed all of the old kitchen equipment appliances from the old jail on the second floor of the public safety building. Equipment is non-operational and has no value, so we're looking for your permission to sell it as scrap metal. And that's about it. If you have any questions, I can answer them.
Thank you, Mark. Any comments or a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the items for surplus. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion unanimously is approved. Item 14 is county liaison reports. Is there any liaison reports? Item 15 is any new business? Item 16 is old business.
I do have something there.
Commissioner
I don't know
Kelly?
what it comes under, but Monty, and the reason I'm asking it now is because usually it gets out of here before we
DJ, I think.
Your cash balance for June and July has been extremely high. Can you explain why?
Well, as you're aware, the Senate Bill 1 passed this spring, and beginning in April, our revenues were much higher than we had budgeted for. And so that, with the phasing of our construction projects and the payments that we have for that, combining those two leads to a much higher cash balance. We're spending more in construction dollars now than we ever have in the last several years, and we're planning next year to be spending more than we ever have, as you've seen through our long-range plan and our budgeting process. But this year, I won't say that we're caught off guard, but we were unable to budget for unanticipated revenues from the new legislation.
Okay. So will this get spent down when you're doing
It will be spent
16,
down.
17 projects?
Yep, and we did the supplement for 2015 to start spending some of that money this year instead of spending it next year. And so we'll start spending it down very soon with that approval of the contract today with SEH. That starts a very big project for us. And with the pay down of the rest of our construction projects that we're finishing up, I think we did $1 million payment a couple weeks ago, and we're going to have another couple $100,000 payment coming up here very soon. So,
do you think by the end of the year we'll end up where, I mean, the others have been pretty crowded around that $5 to $6 million?
I would guess, without looking at the numbers real close, we're probably going to be around 6 or 7.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then I think that we're proposed next year to be around 3.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any other old business?
Mr. Chair, I guess I would ask our staff if there's any progress or report on the legislative summer study or legislative direction that we're going in.
Good morning, Commissioners. Carol Muller, Commission Administrative Officer. Yes, the Commission, several people will be going in next week for the summer study or the interim study that the South Dakota Legislature is doing, and that is next Wednesday and Thursday in Pierre at the Capitol Building. So we do have a 45-minute, we're working towards a 45-minute presentation from Minnehaha County. So we have at least 2 commissioners, I believe, that will be attending, and I'll be attending also, along with a couple of our other elected officials.
Thank you, Carol. Lloyd, do you have any comments about the parking lot process? Or the one that we walked by this morning?
Morning, Commissioners. Lloyd Olson, the Director of Facilities. We're nearing completion on probably reconstructing parking lot H and I, remove the fence and the curb and gutter, and we should be complete with that within a week. It'll provide an extra 16 parking spaces, easier snow removal. It looks a lot better now with that fence gone. So
it does.
Any questions?
All I got to say is you're fast compared to what I've seen in other projects, so thanks for doing that. With that, is there a motion to adjourn into executive session for personnel?
There is.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion unanimously passes. Thank you.